More than 21 million Americans have earned their millionaire status, and sometime around the age of 50, the average American exceeds that $1 million household net worth. But there's no need to wait until middle age for younger investors. How can you become a millionaire by 30? Our next guest giving the tools to do just that. For more on building your wealth, I'm joined by Cedric Nash, financial mentor and author of Why Do White Guys Have All the Wealth Here? Cedric, great to have you here in studio with us. First and foremost, what is the small step that someone can make on a daily basis to really get towards that millionaire status?
You know, I always say that becoming a millionaire isn't hard, it's just slow. And the reality is young people have an unbelievable opportunity to become millionaires because they've got time on their side. I think the first thing they should do is, obviously, embrace that or maintain that mindset of living like a broke college student, right? Because that's going to create frugality. So as they increase their income, and they'll have more money to save and invest. The other thing they could do is invest in their 401k and take advantage of free money. See, millionaires never want to let free money go off the table. So when you invest in your 401k and they match, that's taking advantage of free money. Another thing they should really be looking at doing is, in addition to maximizing their 401k, is it to invest in a duplex or a threeplex or a fourplex as opposed to a single family house when they come out of college when they're ready to buy a property. The reason why is because multifamilies are valued based on their capitalization rate, based on the income that they generate, which means that the value of those properties end up being higher. At the same time, they could rent out every single room and every single apartment in those buildings and live rent-free, allowing you to save and invest even more money. Those are the key steps to becoming a millionaire.
In looking at the habits and studying the habits of successful people and millionaires out there, how many streams of income do you often see them being able to generate? And what is a good kind of benchmark or rule of thumb?
I love that. It's like, I think that, millionaires have at least 4 or 5 streams of income. They'll have their main business, right? They'll also have often invested in a diverse portfolio of stocks, which include dividend stocks, right? I have a guy that works for me. He doesn't have to work for me, but he jokes about how the income that I pay him, which is a deep 6-digit income, he makes more money off of dividends because he has that much cash invested. So dividends are a strong form of income, as well as investing in real estate. That it's a double whammy because you get income and you get appreciation. And as you increase your rents, the value of those properties continue to go up. So those are great sources of income.
You also work with a range of high-profile people as well, athletes, entertainers. What's the number one investment that they're asking you about and they're kicking the tires on mentally that they might try to activate?
To be honest, today a lot of black athletes and black celebrities are asking about real estate. From a cultural standpoint, a lot of older gentlemen in our community kind of talked us away from real estate. They're like, oh, you don't want to have multifamilies. All these people do is tear up their property. And so it's kind of created a mindset where people, and I go now, I speak about this, and I always do a survey, and the majority of the crowd will raise their hand that they've gotten that advice for them. So a lot of them, because we've stayed out of real estate and primarily multifamily properties, they want to know, how do I buy apartment buildings? How do I own lightweight commercial and mixed use properties? They like that because they seem to be a little risk averse, and they don't like necessarily the volatile nature potentially of the stock market. So that's where they seem to lean and want advice from.
One of the other themes that we talk about frequently is the great wealth transfer that is anticipated. And ultimately for minorities out there, what type of effect is that expected to have on wealth building, but just passing on wealth as well?
It's going to have a huge, impact. My book is titled "Why Should White Guys Have All the Wealth?" And it's not about black versus white. It's about the fact that 84% of wealth in this country is in white households and 4% is in black households, which means that upon inheritance, we're going to receive a smaller amount of inheritance, which exacerbates the gap. But we can stop that, and we could stop that through effectively transferring wealth from one generation to the other, also pulling our families together and developing this mindset of never selling grandmother's house from the perspective of keeping all the assets within the family and building upon those and efficiently transfer them to the next generation. At the same time, transferring a mindset that allows them to add to that wealth. And by the way, I still own my grandmother's house in the Bronx.
A significant moment for a lot of people out there and a lot of multicultural families as well. Cedric, thanks so much for taking the time here. Cedric Nash, financial mentor and author of Why Do White Guys Have All the Wealth? Thanks so much.
Thank you.